It's one to tick off the bucket list. Is Taylor going to tick off this game with a 147? Well, he rounded off a game yesterday with a 141 checkout. Is he going to round off with a 147 frame to win the game for Dom Taylor, who gets the better of Mark Barilli by 4 legs to 1. It puts him on to 10 points. They laugh and they share an exchange at the end, but it is Taylor who's victorious. And have a look at that for an average, 103.5 to kick off his day. He gets the better of Barilli by 4 legs to 1. And after the break, it's coming up against Walters.
145.
This would hurt.
This would be seismic. Almost cataclysmic.
135
as far as Scott Walters would have been concerned.
16.
But this double 8 for the break. 1 left in hand.
Game
And that second dart was such a nice guide for the third to crash in off it. Hail Mary from Al. 15. And the bull to save it for the bull.
45.
Not to be.
Required 20.
He's been far from his best. He's got 2 darts at double 5, and it's
Game,
Scott Walters
shot,
who takes the 2
Scott
points.
Walters.
It was a tale of missed opportunities, and the Big Oz would be really disappointed to lose that game. For Scott Walters, he needed something, he needed a spark. Could it just be that nothing to separate them in the tail of the tape? They're very much the same. It just come down to a couple of doubles here and there. But it's Scott Walters who was up and running on this final day of Group C. Next up, John Desmarais against Andy Jenkins. Don't miss that after the break. Below
40.
And after what was a slow start to this game, Jenkins has
shot in the
brought his
fourth leg.
average to
Andy Jenkins.
84.5, a 13 darter to break the throw and level up at 2 apiece in this particular encounter for John Desmarais to pick up another win.
Game.
In it
shot,
goes. It's a
and
4-2 success for John
Desmarais.
Desmarais to get the better of Andy Jenkins by 4 legs to 2. The Killer Bee is on the board for the day, doing so with an 89.34 average, 4 out of 11 when it came to the doubles. For Andy Jenkins, a first game flurry of 80.85, 2 out of 4, shall I say. He got better as the match went along, and we'll see how he improves as the day goes along. After the break, it's the beginning of round 2. We see Scott Walters up against Dom Taylor.
He's put some pressure on this 16.
140.
You have to feel
Dom, you require
the
16.
way Dom is playing right now. This is meat and drink for him.
Game shot in the 4th leg.
There's the
Dom
obligatory
Taylor.
fist pump.
Mary,
Scott, you require 90.
he needs to say a little prayer. The bull. The
Game
answer
shot in
to
the
his
5th leg.
prayers.
Scott Walters.
Back to 3-2, but Taylor has the darts.
55.
Sort of gave up on the last
Dom,
dart
you
there, did
require
Scott. But for Dom
36.
Taylor, 36 for a very impressive game.
Game.
And a
shot,
very
and a
formidable
match. Dom
performance
Taylor.
there for Dom Taylor, who's now giving himself one heck of a chance to be here on Saturday night. He's just doing the right things at the right time, and the fist pump tells you everything. 103 average earlier and a 96 this time. Look at that checkout ratio as well. 66%, 4 from 6. Absolutely superb, Dom Taylor. And next up, it's Mark Barilli against John Desmarais.
Possible scoring visit, but he won't take out the 1-2-1, and so Barilli is back for 55
21.
to see the game through.
Mark, you require
It
55.
hasn't been a classic, but it will be enough for the points. Well, the 45 leaves
Game,
double 5
shot,
for
and the
Mark
match,
Barilli
Mark
to get the win
Barilli.
by 4 legs to 3, beating John Desmarais in the end. Barilli the victor. A win that puts him on to 8 points, level with John Desmarais. It makes things very interesting in terms of the group complexions. And so Barilli, a 4-3 victor in a game marred by missed doubles. After the break, Mal Cumming up against Andy Jenkins. Advantage. It's going to be a dart again at tops. He's been so good here today.
shot in the
And
6th
how
leg.
many times
Andy
has he
Jenkins.
found that top right-hand corner on that particular target when it has been clutch? A timely slip. And look at how Jenkins is opening the door.
140.
Timing like a Swiss
Now you require
watch.
137.
It's had everything this
59.
match.
Andy, you require
For the first
38.
time, Andy Jenkins for the match for his first 2 points.
Game.
What
shot,
a
and
game.
match. Andy
What
Jenkins.
a performance. What a stunning double it was for Andy Jenkins. Has he put pay to the chances of Mal coming? Thoroughly enjoyed that match. Just over 90 average for Andy Jenkins. Nothing between them. Hit at everything. Back after the break, it's the return of John Desborough against Scott Walters.
Require 101.
So just sit back and enjoy it with us. 44 left. It's either a 4 or a 12. He has changed his mind a couple of times, and I think he did there too. The double 16.
Game
that's
shot
the
in the
Scott
first
Walters.
leg. Scott Walters.
I know and love Scott Walters going into Group C. Was the 5 to 6 favourite to top the group.
Throw first. Game on.
Killer B looking a little bit flat.
100.
Needs to inject a bit of a spark here because Scott Walters is continuing to motor. The game is showing up for this oh so crucial matchup.
On the back of his shirt it says, floating like a butterfly, stinging like a bee. But right now he's wading in water. And it's a tough watch for John Desborough. He keeps looking up at Sven Verdonk, who's still upstairs in the balcony area there, but he's not getting anything coming back from him now because I think that Borelli loss has really hit. He's still in prime position right now, but I wouldn't make him favourite to finish second. Trying to give him some hope, but
68.
his average of a dip so far from where he's been since Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. It's concerning moments, worrying moments for John Desborough as the 180 man.
180.
He's flinging him off the ceilings.
Oh, what a feeling when you're darting from the ceiling.
43. Scott, you require 86.
Treble 18. This is beautiful right now. The double 8.
Game shot in the third leg.
What a
Scott
difference
Walters.
a match makes. It's concerning moments, worrying moments for John Desborough as the 180 man.
180.
He's flinging him off the ceilings.
Oh, what a feeling when you're darting from the ceiling.
43. Scott, you require 86.
Treble 18. This is beautiful right now. The double 8.
Game shot in the third leg.
What a
Scott
difference a
Walters.
match makes, because Scott Walters has been through the ringer a little bit this week. Scott Walters will look at the bullseye. The 2 darts at double 16. He's already hit this already. An absolute demolition job from Scott Walters. His campaign is finally up and running. He sticks his head above the parapet and says, I want that second place. And look at the stats there, 98.56. Fantastic on the outer ring. Scott Walters, that is your A game. And next up, it's Dom Taylor against Mal Cumming. Dom can improve on. It's definitely against the darts. He doesn't look like the same, but it'd be interesting to see his stats this week. When he's got the darts.
180.
The fourth 180 of this match. Super competitive game, this. And it's looking like it's going all the way.
140.
So, 2 14s for 13. And this high quality affair is going to get the crescendo it may well deserve in this group. And this is to seal his place in tomorrow night's final. And Dom is the Dom when it comes to Group C. And that fist there tells you he's through. That celebration tells you he's through. Getting the better of the ball now, coming in a last leg decider. A hugely impressive match. 95 and 97 the averages, really good doubles percentages, and a split of the 180s, 2 apiece. Really good game, really good contest. We're off for a break, and we're going to see Jenkins Borelli on the other side of it. Borelli is back for 128 to bring it back to 3-2. Triple. And the ball for Borelli.
103.
For what would have been a Hail Mary.
And you require 100.
At the same time yesterday, he did exactly that. And he smacked it in the ball. 2 darts for Jenkins. It's spoiler alert here at the Live Lounge in Portsmouth as Andy Jenkins smashes in a 4-1 with that lovely 100 finish for Mark Borelli. So near yet so far. His form is just deserting him at the wrong time. The highlight being that 100 finish at the end. Andy Jenkins is just beginning to find his form. Even a sense of frustration that he lost his opening game today, but he's playing an excellent role in this very competitive Group C. Next up, the top of the table, Dom Taylor against John Desmarais. Scott or Mace or Nico, not Matt. Big fish. Good cod. Oh, yes.
John Desmarais.
That's what we're talking about. The big fish for John Desmarais. He's had a disastrous day. And then it's moments like that, and John Desmarais needs to stay focused.
Get Dom. And could he finish off this game with another ton-topping finish? This has been his trademark this week. Finishing off with ton-toppers. And he's done it again here to get the better John Desmarais by 4 legs to 1. Finishing it off, a 116 checkout, 85 average, 4 out of 6 on the doubles. It's another impressive display from Dom Taylor, who continues to dominate this Group C. And if he carries on in this particular vein, you sense he could be the man to beat when it comes to picking up the prize tomorrow night. He beats John Desmarais by 4 legs to 1. That could be demolific as far as his chances of progression is concerned. After the break, Scott Walters against Andy Jenkins.
And Andy Jenkins is just playing that role of, well, I'm going to play a part in who comes second. Andy Jenkins, Mark Borelli had his chance. You feel Malcolm had his chance, but came off dry against Dom Taylor. John Desmarais lost his last 3. Well, Scott Walters, over to you now.
140.
A decent start by both.
They'll settle into proceedings. We kind of looked at this when we saw the fixture sheet
100.
as soon as this one was completed, and we had a look at this and thought this could be really good.
140.
Both players who go at a good pace. Walters, as we've mentioned all week, the maximum man in this group. Andy Jenkins, when he gets going, compiling some big numbers himself. Oh, what a start! 2 maximums in 3 visits for Scott Walters.
Just the pace, everything about this game is
Scott, you require
exciting as both in the comms box here. Oh, Borden does. I loves a 2-dart combo. That
shot in the first leg
is what it's all about. We had a 10-darter early in the week. For me, that is the leg of the week.
You require 156.
Another one of them. Leads himself. Double 18 for the match to finish in style. Oh, what a way to finish for Scott Walters. A victory which may well help him on his path towards qualification tomorrow night. That was a magnificent encounter. Walters, the 4-3 victor, with an average just under 94, 4 out of 10 on the doubles, and finishing with a flourish, a 156 checkout to the pose of Andy Jenkins. Right, we're going to take a short break. Upon our return, it is must-win territory for Mark Borelli. He takes on Mal coming next.
33.
Well, this is for a 4th consecutive game to be one of a ton-topping checkout, and this would eliminate Borelli. It would keep coming in the race. If he can find tops for a 4-0 victory, and the Bull is very much a live contender to progress through to Saturday night. To 3-0 lead next to no time at all. Another average north of 90, 93.2 on this occasion. Triple 18 means 1 dart at double 16. This is ultra impressive from Dom Taylor. 105, 3-0 lead, double break, 15 darter. You name it, he's doing it.
Saying this guy's just a little bit too good for us right now.
120.
I wonder what Mike Warburton's thinking, what Robert Thornton's thinking. It whets the appetite for tomorrow night.
Tops. Oh, he went for all 3 tops. A little bit of showbiz from Dom Taylor.
You set it up, Glenn.
And do you require
I tell you what, you talk about champagne. Just look at the evilness. This is going for the Bull.
Game shot on the fourth leg.
Unbelievable.
Andy Jenkins.
That's what we're talking about. Anything you can do. Listen, young man. Tops, tops, tops. Against me, how
Fifth
dare
leg is
you?
Andy.
He's going to go. You don't wind up. Oh, that was automatically looking at tops there. I think part of that tells me that Jenkins wants this game still.
100.
I thought he'd played Dom Taylor there
32.
for the biggest lesson of his life. It's double 16 for the match. No more jokes around. It's Dom Taylor who's been absolutely superb in this Group C campaign. 18 points out of 20. He is the real deal. The tower is shining high. That was an unbelievable performance. And Andy Jenkins has been a great addition to this Group C. And the tail of the tape. Not an awful lot between them. Just shy of 90 for Dom. Job done for him. Now, it's all about second place. And next up, it's John Desmarais. And it's a much-needed win for Mal coming after this short break.
It's been great having the Killer Bee with us, but Mal Cumming can kill him off now.
40.
And mean that Scott Walters will have to beat Mark Barilli. He's still in the race, is Mal Cumming, as he gets the better of John Desmarais by 4 legs to 0. He's done his job, but he now has to sit backstage and see what happens next. An 80.16 average, 4 out of 8 on the doubles, and now he will sit and await his outcome, because Mark Barilli takes on Scott Walters after the break. A win for Walters, and he will go through to tomorrow night's final. If Barilli is the victor, it'll be Mal who will be returning for the Saturday night finale.
He's given himself the chance for one dart at a double. Or has he? 42 left, and that's criminal. And that's the realisation there. You're thinking, has double 14 left? Because you're in panic mode. Has double 14, has double 7 left a double. Will Barilli punish? Yes, he will. It's game on.
Mark Barilli.
And I think I heard the big Aussie shout there. He's watching backstage, praying for a Barilli win.
Mount requires 16.
Tetchy.
Game shot in the fourth leg.
Up to the challenge. 3-1 Walters.
And now is a leg away. Now stares the board down, needing 107 points for his place in tomorrow night's final. He started the day chasing, but he's been nigh on perfect and made a surge to the line, but he hasn't crossed it yet. There is still work to do for Walters. It is not job done just yet. Barilli piles in a ton, piles in some pressure.
14.
But now Scott Walters, this is your moment. On double 7. Darting heaven.
And the match.
Scott Walters is into tomorrow night's final. He was pushed all the way by Mal Cumming, but he betters Barilli to make it through to the showpiece occasion, and you could see what it meant to him. A 4-1 victory, a 97 average in a game that meant the most. An emotional Scott Walters claims his place into Saturday night's finale here at the Super Series. He is going to join Dom Taylor in the occasion tomorrow night from Group C. Commiserations goes to Mal Cumming, who ran him so close to the line, but it is Walters who is through. We're going to hand up to the balcony and get some analysis now from Glenn Durrant, who's alongside Chris Murphy.
Thank you, Henry. Yes, well, Scott Walters, he did it in the end. It started with the meeting against Mark Barilli. That's where it started to go wrong, but he's made up for it with that performance there.
Yeah, it's a different style of way of getting through for Scott Walters. He's usually dominating groups. You know, for him to come from out the pack could be interesting. He's got that type of game where he could be very, very dangerous on tomorrow night.
Yeah, it wasn't him dominating this group, was it? Let's have a look at the table. It was actually Dom Taylor. There you see it as a 7-player group because Sven Verdonk played half the games yesterday. Andy Jenkins came in to replace him after injury today. But had a bit of an impact as well, didn't he? A couple of wins and a really fun game with Taylor at the end of the day. Yeah,
not my cup of tea, fun games, and boring does it was coming out to me there. But yeah, it was nice to see the Andy Jenkins come in, and let's hope Sven Verdonk gets himself better and we see him back here at his very, very best. But Dom Taylor, wow, what a play. One thing about being in the comms box, you see players up close and personal that you probably don't see all the time. He is very, very good.
And Barilli, Desmarais and Cumming backers all had a run for their money, didn't they?
Well, Cumming was downstairs. I said, I'm surprised you're watching it. And I used that analogy when Price played Whitlock. And he said, I didn't think I'd be in this position. Well, I disagree. He had real opportunities. And Desmarais just wasn't at the races today. I think the people who didn't qualify this week from this group will be fairly disappointed because they all had chances.
Well, we now have 3 players through to finals night. Mike Warburton got through from Group A, and you can see now there Dom Taylor rather, and Scott Walter, just merging them together there through from this group. 3 great names and 3 very, very talented players.
Absolutely tremendous. And you know, if anyone wasn't watching Group B last night, it was absolutely fantastic. 6 180s in one game from Rhys Robinson, 100 finishes, 170 finishes. You know, the 3 that go through there make it one of the best Saturday nights I've been involved in.
Oh, I'm coming to that, don't worry. We have got Group B in action this evening, 10 p.m. live on Sporty Stuff TV and the Motor Super Series YouTube channel. We'll have a look at the table. Robert Thornton looking like he's as good as through, 1 win away in fact, but the rest of them, Glenn, well, it's your chance here. Pick 2 to join.
Yeah, I mean, I'd delighted to see Robert Thornton here, just thinking 1 win under the belt there. I'd like to see Chaz Barstow come through the pack. I think he would be a great addition to the final. And I think Jeremy Fagg has been superb, super consistent, and they'd be the 3 for me.
So that is tonight from 10. Do make sure you join us. But as far as Group C is concerned, well, it was dominated by Taylor. Walters found a way, but Cumming is going home. See you at 10.